Hey guys, it's Dr. B from buycbd.net, from Hemp Logica, and then from Dr. B's World. So I decided that I would pop on in here looking crazy, but that I would do a quick video before I go on to my next thing. And this video is basically just chit chat with you all. I want to talk about how sometimes being an entrepreneur is not pretty, and it's not like Hollywood. It's not like the movies. It's not like every day isn't a beautiful. Well, actually, every day is a beautiful day. Don't get me wrong. However, there are things. Some days just absolutely suck. Like, okay, it could be a beautiful day, but it still sucks at the same time because you just got to deal with shit. And then sometimes in dealing with shit, it's tough. Like, if it were easy, this is what I hear all the time. Like, this is what entrepreneurs say all the time. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it. Yeah, of course, if it were easy, everyone would be doing it. It reminds me of when I was in school, and it also reminds me of when I was in the military, and then it reminds me of when I went through 2 different police academies, and it reminds me of what it takes to have a great relationship. Like, all of these things that I just mentioned, like, they take some sort of work and some sort of effort. Like, having a good relationship takes effort, and going to school takes effort, and going through police academies obviously takes effort, and what you're doing in your life probably takes some effort. And sometimes people don't really show the ugly side of being an entrepreneur, because in the world that we live in now, everything has to be great and look great and sound great and smell great and taste great. But sometimes it doesn't sound great, taste great, smell great, look great, feel great. Sometimes you really don't even want to get out of bed as an entrepreneur, because the reality of the situation is that it's all on you. It's all on you. And sometimes that's a tough reality for some people to deal with, and so they don't make it in this world. Or sometimes you don't see the profits that you would like to see right away, or sometimes you may have issues with people that you work with, or maybe you have to fire someone. Like, in the when you're working for someone else, these are things that you may not think about, because someone else is responsible for that. Someone else is responsible for HR. Someone else is responsible for hiring and firing people. Someone else is responsible for, day-to-day administration stuff. But when you are an entrepreneur, especially like if you're starting off, and that person is you, and you may be looking around for someone else, and it's you, until you figure out how to delegate, until you get to a place where you're actually making some money, where you can pay someone else to handle some of your day-to-day operations. But even then, the interesting thing about being an entrepreneur is that sometimes the people that you hire may not be ideal. They may not work for your company, and you need to figure out how are you going to handle firing people. It's a process. Like, hiring someone is a process, and firing someone could be a process, and being sued could be a process, and getting bashed on social media, that's a process. These are all things that sometimes, well, at some point in time, if you are successful, or when you decide to turn on your lights to your business, you're also turning on your lights to this. Now, mind you, it's a beautiful thing to run your own company, and you do have times where you know, you're just successful. But just like anything else in life, there are highs and then there are lows. And my purpose is for you to see the highs and then also see the lows, and just so that you have a 365 view of the real deal. Like, not just, oh, I have this big beautiful house that I bought as an entrepreneur and yada yada yada. Because the reality of the situation is most businesses fail. You know, most businesses fail, and most of them, and then another reality, most businesses don't see a profit within the first few years of business. You know, as quick as they open their doors, is as quick as they close their doors. And this is interesting because this is especially true for African American owned businesses that are owned by female entrepreneurs, female African American entrepreneurs. Now, although we're starting businesses at really, really, really rapid rates, a lot of those businesses they're not as successful as non-African American businesses, African American non-African American businesses, and they're also not as successful as businesses that are ran by men. So those are, you know, it's kind of interesting. And so that tells me that, you know, although a lot of us are starting businesses, a lot of us are closing our doors. And so what does it take to be a successful entrepreneur? Well, you know, I studied that. I wrote a book on that. And I actually studied entrepreneurial women, African American women, just to identify our success factors. And I found some interesting things that I'll be sharing as we go through all of these videos. And please forgive me for saying because ciao, it's hot. I'm in a car. I just had finished eating my teriyaki chicken, which I really don't like, but I ate the teriyaki chicken because yeah, I just wanted to grab a quick bite. Plus I'm working, and you know, although you're working for yourself, you know, some people think that they can get away with not putting in the work, like, but honey, when you work for yourself, actually what ends up happening is, especially, you know, in the beginning, you're working more hours than you would on a traditional job. Like, you know, sometimes you may work into the midnight hour, beyond the midnight hour. Sometimes you may pull an all-nighter. Sometimes you may have a last-minute meeting that you have to book because you have to book it and you have to go to this meeting. So it's not like your typical 9-to-5 job where you can just, you know, 5 o'clock you're done, you're out of there. You know, entrepreneurialism it's a completely different animal. However, it can be navigated, and it can be a wonderful experience as long as you have the right mental attitude for it. And entrepreneurialism starts off with your attitude, because it's your attitude that's going to make or break you. And it's your attitude that's going to determine whether or not you are a successful entrepreneur or whether or not you close down your doors. It starts with attitude, just your mindset. So I'm going to be talking about mindset too. But anyway, I love you guys. I just popped on here really quickly before I go to my next thing that I have to do. And I just want to encourage you guys and to let you know that, you know, if you're an entrepreneur like me, sometimes it sucks. It's still a beautiful experience, but sometimes it absolutely sucks. I want to let you know that you're not by yourself, that just because you haven't achieved the success that you believe that you deserve, and I believe you deserve that success too, that doesn't mean that it won't happen. Just be patient, understand that this too shall pass, and that part of the road of entrepreneurialism, part of the road is paved with success, and part of the road is paved with messages and lessons and sometimes challenges that you can overcome. It's just a matter of making sure that you have the right mindset before you jump into this thing. And if you already have jumped into this thing, then you need to reach out to me. My website is drbsworld.com. You can find me over there. And yeah, let's start talking, and let's communicate, and let's support each other. So anyway, I love you guys, and I'll chat with you soon. Bye.